I was never the loudest guy in the room. I didn't have flashy cars, didn't wear designer clothes, didn't throw money around like a show-off. But I had heart. I had loyalty. And when I met Serena, I genuinely believed I had met someone who valued that more than anything else. We met at a bookstore, believe it or not. She dropped a book, The Art of War, ironically, and I picked it up for her. She laughed, thanked me, and we started talking. It wasn't like sparks flew instantly, but she was sharp, confident, and funny in a way that drew people to her. I was quiet, observant, and maybe a little awkward, but she said that was charming. We started dating. At first, everything felt mutual. She texted me first, called me just to say she missed me. Said I made her feel safe. And I did everything I could to keep that going. I showed up, remembered the small things, supported her dreams even when mine were falling apart. But slowly, she started to change. The first sign was how she acted around her friends. At dinner one night, I offered to split the check since I forgot my wallet. She laughed and said, "He's broke but he means well," right in front of everyone. The group chuckled, and I smiled awkwardly, trying to shake it off. But it didn't stop there. She'd tell stories to her friends about how I mispronounced a French word, or how I once wore mismatched socks to her company brunch, always laughing like it was harmless. Every time, I felt a sting, but I stayed quiet. I told myself, she's just joking. She doesn't mean anything by it. But deep down, I started feeling like I wasn't someone she respected. I was just background. Then one night, we were at her best friend Tanya's birthday. The place was packed, and she was on her third glass of wine. I was standing with her group when someone asked her, "So, Serena, is this the guy?" Referring to me. She smirked and said, "This? He's not the guy. He's just a placeholder until the real one shows up." The group erupted in laughter. I stood there, stunned. I looked at her, searching her face for a sign that she was joking, that she was drunk, that anything about this could be explained. But she just took a sip of her drink and gave me that same smirk. I nodded slowly, smiled politely, and walked out of the party. That night, I didn't argue. I didn't text her. I didn't block her. I just stopped. Stopped calling. Stopped trying. Stopped caring. For the first time in over a year, I put myself first. She messaged the next day, "Hey, where did you go?" I ignored it. Then, "Are you mad about something?" Then, "Babe, you know I was just joking. Don't be dramatic." Still, I said nothing. 2 days later, she called me 12 times in a row. Left voice messages. She even came by my apartment. I didn't answer the door. Just watched her from the window as she stood outside, confused, angry, then slowly, anxious. A week passed, and the text shifted. From jokes and guilt trips, to real panic. "I miss you. Can we talk? I messed up. I know I did. Please just say something. You were always too good for me, and I didn't realize it until now." But by then, I had already realized something important. It wasn't just about her laughing at me. It was that I stayed with someone who found joy in making me feel small. I had betrayed myself far more than she ever did. So, I moved on. Quietly. I started working out, reading more, reconnecting with old friends. I stopped wondering if I was enough for someone like her, because I realized she was never enough for someone like me. Months later, I ran into her at a cafe. She looked surprised, maybe a little hopeful. "Wow, you look different," she said. I just smiled. "I feel different." She tried to make small talk, tried to laugh the way she used to. But this time, I didn't flinch. I didn't get pulled in. I sipped my coffee, stood up, and said, "Take care, Serena." And as I walked out, I didn't need to look back to know. She wasn't laughing anymore. Some people don't realize the weight of their actions until silence answers them louder than words ever could. Serena thought I'd always be there, no matter how many times she chipped away at my dignity with a smile on her face. But the day I stopped caring was the day everything shifted. Not because I wanted revenge. Not because I wanted her to suffer. But because I finally chose myself. Sometimes, the loudest power move isn't shouting back or proving a point, it's walking away without a sound and letting them feel the absence they once laughed at. And in that silence, she finally heard everything she never bothered to listen to.